मेरे डेस्कटॉप पे ना ये खुल रहा होगा नीट का, है ना? उसकी आईपी देख के लास्ट वाले डिजिट बताना। नहीं नहीं नहीं, नीट 17 डे, हाँ खुल रहा होगा 17 डेज का लास्ट लेने। ठीक। So good morning students, welcome to the class. Good morning Sangvi. So we will begin the class shortly. Uh, Today we are going to do the chapter thermodynamics. So if you have any doubt regarding the previous class or the DPP, if you have attempted, then you can ask me. Okay. If you have any doubt regarding the previous class, any concept that you are facing difficulty with, then you can send me here in the chat section. Or we will start the class at 10:05. So I will wait for 5 minutes, then we'll start the class. Good morning, Varsha. So meanwhile, those who have already joined the class, they can try to solve this question. So this was asked in your year 2026. So Kritika, Sandoshni, Raghu, anyone having any doubt, you can ask it to me. We'll start the class at 10:05. Or you can solve this question, which is, I'm displaying the question now. Okay, this is your question. It was asked in 2026. Try this question by yourself. If you have any doubt, you can also ask that doubt. Good morning, Sandoshni. Good morning, Ketika. Yes, anyone is having any doubt? Good morning, Raghu. You can ask it to me. So, what is this question saying to us? You have given a hypothetical equation, and you are also given with the value of change in internal energy and change in entropy. You have to identify that what is the value of delta G naught, and you have to predict that whether the given reaction is spontaneous or not. Yes, anyone who got the answer, you can just write it in the chat section. So let us start our class now. Here, the question is given that you have to calculate the delta G naught. Once you calculate the delta G naught, you can know whether the reaction is spontaneous by looking at the sign of the number that you got. If it is having a negative sign, it means that the reaction is spontaneous. If it is having a positive sign, that means the reaction is non-spontaneous. So it depends upon the value of this delta G naught or the Gibbs free energy. So those who get the answer, you can just write it in the chat section. So any one of you who got the answer for this question? Yes? Kartika, Raghu, Shani, anyone who got the answer for this question? Deepika? Yes, try to solve this question. This was asked in this year. First, try to calculate the delta H or the enthalpy. And from there, you can easily calculate the delta G naught. So what equation you are using to calculate this thing? What equation you are using to calculate this? Okay, so I'm moving on to the answer now. Here, the correct answer will be 0.63568 with a positive sign, and the reaction will be non-spontaneous. How? So we know that the relation between delta H and delta U is given as delta H is equals to delta U plus NGRT, delta NGRT. Here, what is delta Ng? It is change in the number of gaseous moles. How do we calculate this? So it's very simple now. How to calculate this delta Ng? First of all, identify the species that are present as gases in the product side. So here on the product side, we have only one species, which is D, and it is present in gas. Then here you will take it as 2 minus, you just write open a bracket here. Again, on the reactant side, you have to identify the stoichiometric coefficient which have of the gases. So here again, A and B both are gases, and their stoichiometric coefficient are 2 and 1. So you will add 2 and 1 together. So that is the meaning of delta Ng, means the number of molecules or the sum of the stoichiometric coefficient for the species who are gases. For the species, those are gases. Okay, minus the stoichiometric coefficient of the reactant that are gases. So that is 2 minus 2 plus 1. You will get it as minus 1. You will get it as minus 1. So the delta U naught value is minus 10. It is given in the question, minus 10 kilojoule per mole. So we put this value here. Delta Ng is minus 1. So this is your minus 1 with a negative sign. Then we have converted this 8.31 into kilojoule. Converted this 8.31 joule per mole per Kelvin into kilojoule per mole per Kelvin. How do we convert this? By dividing this thing by 1000. So if I divide this thing by 1000, it will be converted into kilojoule per mole per Kelvin. Okay. Then we put this value here as value of R and T as temperature. Further, if I calculate this thing, so it will give us 2.48. Finally, minus 10 and minus 2.48 is minus 12.48 kilojoule per mole. So this is the value of your delta H naught. Now we know a relation between the delta G, delta H and delta S. So here is the relation: delta G naught is equals to delta H minus T delta S. So we use this equation now. Delta S is already provided in the question. Delta H is being calculated by us already. We put this value, temperature is given. So here again we are converting this 44 joule per Kelvin into 44 by 1000 kilojoule per Kelvin. Okay, if we convert this thing, our final equation will look like minus 12.48 for delta H naught, T is 298 and delta S naught is minus 44 by 1000. Then if I calculate this, it will come out to be minus 12.48 plus 13.112. That will give us plus 0.632 kilojoule per mole. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Yes. So you have the attendance link. Mark your attendance. You have your attendance link in the chat section. Mark your attendance. Now we can clearly see that the value of delta G naught is coming out to be positive. So remember this, that if delta G naught, if it is positive, the reaction will be non-spontaneous. It will be non-spontaneous. Whereas if delta G naught is negative, if it is negative, then the reaction is spontaneous. Okay, is it clear to you? So since we got delta G naught value as plus, therefore the reaction is what? It is non-spontaneous. Okay, can you move forward? So did you mark your attendance? Did you mark your attendance? All of you, mark your attendance quickly. Mark your attendance quickly. Now moving on to the next question. So if anyone have any doubt, you can ask it to me. I'm just recapitulating this question. So first we use the formula of delta H naught is equals to delta U naught plus delta NGRT to calculate the delta H naught from here. Okay, and remember delta Ng is number of moles of products which are in the gaseous form on the product side minus the number of moles of reactant in the gaseous form. So that is coming out to be minus 1. We calculate this, we got it as minus 12.48 kilojoule per mole. Then we substitute this value in the second equation because delta G naught is equals to delta H naught minus T delta S naught. Once we put the values, we are getting it as plus 0.632, which indicates that the reaction is non-spontaneous. Now moving on to the next question. So here we are again, it is asked in the 2026 year, in this year itself. Again, this one is a simple one. It's very easy to solve this one. You are given that at a certain temperature, which is written as T Kelvin, your process is absorbing 500 joule of energy or heat, and the work which is done by the system is 200 joule. So the process involves absorption of 500 joule and work done by the system is 200 joule. You have to calculate the change in internal energy. Now it's very simple. You have to simply use the first law of thermodynamics to solve this question. Okay, first law of thermodynamics to solve this question. Try this question by yourself. Try this question by yourself. So students, please try to be on time in the class. Please try to be on time in the class. Why are you coming so late? Already we have done one question. Yes, Shani, what will be the answer? Varsha, Saksham, remember I'm telling you to use the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, this is a hint from my side. It's very simple. Only the only thing that you have to determine, only thing that you have to determine is the sign of your, the sign of your. Okay, my voice is not clear. Is it clear now? Is it clear now, Varsha? Okay. Now here what we have to see, the sign for the Q and W. So remember, if the system is absorbing it, if it is taking it means it is gaining some energy. Since it is gaining some energy, the Q will be taken as positive. So this 500 will have a sign of plus. It will be having a sign of plus. Then in case of work done by the system, if it is work done by the system means system is doing the work, system is losing the energy or using its energy to do the work, so it will be taken as negative. So this will be taken as positive and this will be taken as negative. You understand the concept? You understand the concept? So remember this thing, whenever system is absorbing heat, it is taking heat, it is going on to a higher energy state, therefore it will increase its energy, so we'll use a positive sign. Whenever work is done by the system, you will have a negative sign. On contrary, if the system is losing heat, suppose if it is losing heat, then the Q will have a negative sign. And if system is having the work done on it, suppose a different system is doing work on this system, then in that case we will have a positive sign. Okay, yes, so everyone is telling that correct option would be B. So 500 minus 200, that will be 3. Yes, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. The correct answer would be B, which is 300 joule. So we know that from first law of thermodynamics, Q plus W gives us the total internal energy. So 500 is having positive sign. So Q is plus 500 and work done is minus 200. So 500 minus 200 is 300 joule. Okay. Is it clear to you? Anyone having any doubt? Shall we move forward now? Shall we move forward now, students? Yes. Anyone is having any doubt? Raghu? Kirtika? Anyone? Okay. What was option C? Option C was 700 joule. Now moving on to the next question. So you must have taken this thing as positive. You won't take this thing as positive because work is done by the system. If it is written that work is done on the system if it is written, then I will take this thing as positive. Did you understand, Saksham? Saksham, did you understand my point? Okay. Is it clear to all of you? So moving on. So you should know both the aspects, that when you will take positive and when you will take negative. So here is your next question. Here is your next question. Now, the question is saying that in which of the following process, in which of the following process, you have to identify that the inotropy is increasing. Okay, inotropy means your S is increasing. First one, a liquid evaporates to vapor. A liquid evaporates to vapor. Second, the temperature of the crystalline solid. Crystalline solid means crystalline solid means so there are two types of solid, amorphous and crystalline. So crystalline is usually having a structured shape. They are having a fixed shape. So those are known as crystalline solids. Whereas amorphous, they are having a disordered shape. Means the molecules are present at random sites inside the bulk. In the crystalline thing, they are present at a specific position. So we call it as crystalline. So second option is temperature of the crystalline solid is taken from 130 Kelvin to 0 Kelvin. 130 Kelvin to 0 Kelvin. Next reaction, it is simply the decomposition of NaHCO3 to give us Na2CO3, CO2 and H2O. And the last one is the breaking of bond between two chlorine atoms in a chlorine molecule to give us two separate chlorine atoms. Now you have to identify that which reaction involves the increase in entropy. Which reaction involves the increase in entropy. Now, to answer this question, your first mindset should be that whenever there is an increase in number of gaseous molecules, there is increase in number of gaseous molecules, the system will increase its entropy. So everyone is giving the answer as A. Saksham is telling A, Sangvi is telling A, Shani is telling A is the correct answer. Okay, let us see, students, if it is right or wrong. So, whenever a liquid is evaporating into vapor, it means that we are moving from liquid state into the gaseous state, liquid state into the gaseous state. Now, the gaseous state is having the molecules that will move very random. They will have very much randomness in them. So, it will have a positive inotropy. It will have a positive inotropy. Similarly, in option C, if I consider, then we are okay, Varsha. Let us see if it is correct or not. So, NaHCO3 is present in solid form and it is going to solid and 2 moles of gaseous. So, again, we are going from solid to gaseous. So, this is even a higher increase in inotropy because the inotropy is highest for gaseous, then we have it for solid, sorry, then we have it for liquid, and then we have it for solid. So this is the order for the inotropy. So if I am going from liquid to gaseous, the inotropy will increase. If I am going from solid to gaseous, the increase in inotropy will be even higher because solid is having the least inotropy of all the three physical states. Then next one, here we are going from one molecule of chlorine to two atoms of chlorine. So the number of gaseous particles have increased. Initially we have only one particle, that is the chlorine, that is the chlorine molecule. One chlorine molecule we have. Now we are going to two chlorine atoms. So number of gaseous atoms have increased. So entropy will also increase. So A, C and D. So option correct, the correct option would be C. Is it correct to you? Is it clear to you? Did you understand? Did you understand my point? Although both sides are having that same gaseous species, but on the right side we have more number of gaseous species. Therefore, option C would be correct. Option C would be correct. Now, what about the option B? What do we say about the options? Option B. So to answer this question, let us move on to the solution. So of course it will result in decrease in entropy. Why? Because whenever we talk about 0 Kelvin, if it is having a 0 Kelvin, means there is no thermal energy because the temperature is gone to the absolute zero. So this is known as the absolute zero. So no thermal energy is present. No thermal energy is present. Due to this two reason, your molecules, the molecules present in the crystalline solid, they will stop to move. You know that whenever we take solid, liquid or gas, the particles inside it are constantly moving. And why they are moving? Because they are gaining some energy from the atmosphere in the form of thermal energy. But as soon as we drop this temperature to absolute zero, the available thermal energy is zero and the molecule will stop to move at all. So they will have zero entropy. They will have zero entropy. Therefore, there will be decrease in entropy. So the correct option would be A, C, and D, which is option C. Is it clear to all of you? So not you should not only be aware about this, the correct one. You should be also aware about the incorrect one. So if in the future they ask question related to the other part, you can answer them as well. So students, anyone is having any doubt? Anyone is having any doubt? Yes? Amrita, Badri, any doubt that you are having regarding this question? Here is your next question. So this was asked in NEET 2024. Now, there can be never a simpler question than this one. It is the simplest question they asked from thermodynamics. What is that? You have to simply write or match the correct definition. Okay, already we have some answers. Option D, Yes, let us see Saksham and Sangvi if it is correct or not. All the students, please reply to this question. It's the most simple one from the thermodynamics. Yes, Varsha, Badri, what will be the correct answer? Sandoshini, Raghu, Kirtika, Dipika, what will be the correct answer here for this question? So, in the question, what they are saying that we have we have isothermal process. So whenever we have isothermal process, means the temperature, thermal means the temperature, iso means same, so the temperature is kept constant. So here it is carried out at constant temperature, then isochoric, choric means volume, and again iso means same, so same volume, so that will go with 3, then next isobaric, bar, you remember the unit of pressure is bar, that means pressure is to be constant, so C will go with 4. And lastly we have adiabatic, which is well known to all of you, that means no heat exchange will take place. So A go with 2, then 3, then 4, and D with 1. So the correct answer would be option D. Yes, very good. So all of you have answered it correctly. The correct answer would be option D. Moving on to the next question. Anyone is having any doubt? So those who have not replied, is it clear to you, Amrita? Anyone is having any doubt in this question? Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Okay. Now the next one. So this is a theoretical question. You have to tell the correct statement for the work done in the expansion and heat absorbed or released when 5 liters of an ideal gas at 10 atmospheric pressure, it is isothermally expanded into vacuum until the volume is 15 liter, until the volume is 15 liter. So how you will solve this question? How you will solve this question? Let us see, Saksham, if it is correct or not. Remember, remember that the process is done under vacuum. Vacuum means, what does vacuum signify? What does vacuum signify? Remember, it is said that we are taking 5 liter of a gas at 10 atmospheric pressure. Suppose you have a container like this. Suppose you have a container like this. Okay? Yes, Sangvi, in absence of air. And in that container, the volume of gas is 5 liter and it is present at 10 atm pressure. It is present at 10 atm pressure. Now you suddenly open this box. You open this box into vacuum, means there is no pressure which is present around it. So around, suppose this is another box. Inside this box, there is complete absence of air, which is vacuum. Now, if it is the case, then what will be the value of heat and work? Will it be 0? Will it be greater than 0, or will it be less than 0? Anyone? Anyone who wants to answer the question? Yes, Sangvi, in absence of air. Okay, Sandoshini, let us see if it is correct or not. So you are telling 0, means same as the previous one. Same as the previous one. Saksham is telling also C. Sandoshini is also telling C. Anyone else? Yes, Kirtika. Yes, Raghu. What will be the answer, Raghu? Varsha, what do you think? What will be the answer here? Yes, so Sangvi is also telling C. Anyone else? Anyone else? So can you tell me the case of this question? What type of work done is done here? What type of work is done here? What type of work is done here? What type of expansion we are encountering in this question? What type of expansion we are encountering in this question? So there is a specific name for it. Yes, isothermal expansion. There is another name for it, which will quickly give away the answer. Remember, it is occurring in the absence of air. Means there is no external pressure. There is no external pressure. Whenever we open the box, the external pressure is completely zero. So, okay, yes, it is adiabatic. Yes, it is adiabatic. There is a proper name for it. There is a proper name for this kind of expansion. The expansion which is done in the absence of external pressure, there is a name for it. And that name is free expansion. Free expansion. You have heard of this term, right? You have heard of this term. Already you have heard of this term. Free expansion. Am I correct in saying this? Free expansion. Okay. So whenever the external pressure is zero or the expansion is done in the absence of external pressure, then in that case we name it as free expansion. Free means without any resistance, without any hurdle. It is expanding freely. So we name it as free expansion. Since the external pressure is zero, the gas is expanding freely. Therefore, we call it as free expansion. Now, if the external pressure is zero, if P external, if it is zero, since it is a free expansion, in case of free expansion, it is always a this case is always considered irreversible process. Irreversible process. So all free expansion are irreversible process. So delta U will become 0 first of all because there is no temperature change. Isothermally it is already written. So we know the formula NCV delta T. So delta T means change in temperature. Isothermal means constant temperature. We have just solved a problem from this thing. Constant temperature. So delta T will be 0. If one of the term is 0, then the whole thing will become 0. Now, what about this W or the work done? So for irreversible process, the work done is given as minus P external change in the volume. Again, this this P external is 0. Therefore, this term here P external, it will be 0 and the whole term work done will also become 0. So delta U is also 0 and W is also 0. Now from the first law of thermodynamics we know that delta U is equals to Q plus W or Q is equals to delta U minus W. If both of them are 0, then the U will be also 0. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? So the mathematical expression should also be clear to you how we moved on to this result. What is the mathematical process to understand this is also important at the same time. Can you move forward? So let us see the correct answer. The correct answer would be C. So as I said, the delta T is 0, the CV delta T will also be 0. And P external or the external pressure is 0, so work done is also 0. Now from the first law of thermodynamics, Q plus W is the delta U, therefore Q will be 0 here. Is it clear to all of you? Anyone having any doubt in this problem? Anyone is having any doubt in this problem? Moving on to the next question. Now, in this question, we are given that we have an endothermic process or the endothermic reaction. Now, you have to identify that which of the given four statements are correct. First one, QP. QP is negative. Second one, delta RH is positive. Third one, delta RH is negative. And the fourth one, QP is positive. Please reply, students. What will be the correct answer here? What will be the correct answer here in this question? So, what do we think? How do we think about this question? How do we think about this question? Whenever it is written that the process is endothermic, so what does it means? Anyone? Anyone? What does its significance? What is its significance, or what is its physical significance if I am saying that our reaction is endothermic? So there are two kinds of reaction. Everyone knows about it. Yes, Amrita, very good. So heat is absorbed. Heat is absorbed by the system. If heat is absorbed by the system. Now, as Amrita said, heat is absorbed by the system. We have done this question in the first part where we said that whenever the heat is absorbed by the system, then the Q will be taken as what? Q will be taken as what, students? Okay, so positive. Yes, it will be taken as positive. Very good. It will be taken as positive. And what about B? What about the delta H value? What about the delta H value? For an endothermic process, yes, it is also positive. It is also positive. So A will be your correct answer. Is it clear to all of you? It's very simple one. It's a very simple one. It's a very simple one. So it is clear from the definition also for that endothermic process, the delta H is positive. And for exothermic, the other type is what? Exothermic. Exo means to release. Exo means to release. So it is having a negative sign. Moving on to the next question. So here is your next question. Again, you have to calculate the internal energy, and we have seen a formula regarding this in the first question that we have solved in today's lecture. You have to calculate the internal energy change. The enthalpy change is already given to us, and the reaction equation, the balanced reaction equation is also provided. You have to just identify that what will be the internal energy change. So, any one of you who got the answer for this question? Yes, students, solve it. What we'll get here? It's a very simple one. Okay, let me give you the equation also. Let me give you the equation also. So delta H is equals to delta U plus delta NGRT. So I have given you the equation itself. Now try this question. Try this question. The only thing that is left is to put the values. Yes, you have to also calculate the delta NG. I have given you the way to calculate it in the first question as well. So yes, try this question by yourself. Saksham is telling A is the correct answer. Saksham is telling A is the correct answer. What will be the correct answer, students? What will be the correct answer? Okay, A. Shiny is also telling A is the correct answer. So let us see. Let us see if it is correct or not. Yes, students, very good. The correct answer would be A. The correct answer will be A. How do we solve it? I have given you the equation. Delta H is equals to delta U plus delta NGRT. Now, what is delta Ng here? How do we calculate the delta Ng? Moles of products minus the moles of reactants. So, we will talk about the gaseous species only. So here what do we have? On the product side, we have 2 moles. So the number of moles of gaseous species on the product side, it is 2. And the number of moles of gaseous species on the reactant side, you have to simply add the coefficient. So this is 1, this is 3. So 1 plus 3, which is 4. So what would be delta Ng? Delta Ng would be product minus reactant. So 2 minus 4, which will be minus 2. Yes, it will be minus 2. Then putting it in the equation, you have to calculate the internal energy. So if I rearrange this equation, it will be delta U is equals to delta H minus delta Ng RT. Now put the values. Delta H is 15 kilojoule per mole. So we will convert this thing into joule. So 15,000. Delta Ng we have calculated, it is minus 2. R, it is 8.314. And temperature is 300 Kelvin. It is 300 Kelvin. You calculate this thing, you will get it as 19988.4. So which type of reaction is it? Is it endothermic or exothermic? Can anyone tell me? Is it endothermic or exothermic? Which type of reaction it is? Exothermic or endothermic? Quickly reply to the question. Yes, yes, Sangvi, very good. It is endothermic because the enthalpy change it is given in positive. Shani, very good. The enthalpy change is given as positive. So it is endothermic in reaction. Can we move forward now? Anyone is having any doubt? So the important part here is that you may miss the conversion of 15 kilojoule into 15,000. Okay. So be very cautious about the units. Whenever you are adding two things, they should be present in same units or it will give you the wrong answer, although you know the complete formula. So this is the worst way to lose marks, is not caring about the units, because you know the complete question. Because of a single tiny mistake, you have not scored your marks. Moving on to the next question. So here the equilibrium concentration of A, B, C and D are mentioned. It is mentioned here. You have the temperature also at 300 Kelvin. Now you have to calculate the delta G naught for the reaction. R value is also given as 2 calorie per mole. It also given as 2 calories per mole. You have to calculate the delta G naught. Remember, you are given with the equilibrium concentration. What is equilibrium concentration? Means the concentration at the equilibrium state. Okay, so there are two things. If the reaction has not attended the equilibrium, then we have something which is not the concentration at equilibrium. If we use that thing, we'll get Q, the reaction quotient. Whereas if we use the equilibrium concentration, then we'll get the K. In terms of concentration, it will become Kc. So I've given you a hint already. That you have to calculate Kc. Once you calculate the Kc, you will get your delta G naught. Try the question. Students, try the question. So this is an important one. They can ask a similar question for in your examination as well. Anyone who got the answer? Who got the answer for this question? Please reply it in the chat section. Please reply it in the chat section. How do we calculate the delta G naught? First, try to calculate the Kc, the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. From there, you will get your value for delta G naught. Yes? Anyone who got the answer for this question, you can just reply it in the comment section, chat section. Here, remember, you have to answer the question in calories, and you already are given with the value of R in terms of calorie per mole per Kelvin. So you don't need to worry about it. Anyone is getting the answer? Or shall I show it to you? Or shall I show it to you? Okay. Yes, very good. Shani will use the formula. Very good, Shani will use the formula 2.303 RT log Kc. There is a small mistake in the formula, Shani. A very small mistake in the formula, Shani. So what is that? Okay, Sangvi is telling that C would be the correct one. Yes, Shani, a small mistake is there in your formula. You are missing the negative sign. So it is minus 2.303 RT log Kc. Okay. Yes. Anyone else who got the answer for this question? Okay. Sandoshini is also telling C. Sandoshini is also telling C. Shani is also telling C. Let us see, Shani, if it is correct or not. Yes, Raja. Kritika, why all of you are not replying to the question? Are you facing any difficulty in this chapter? Please ask it to me regarding the formula or regarding anything, concept. If you have any issue, please ask it to me. Now, moving on to the next one. So, those who have recently joined the class, please mark your attendance. The link is there in the chat box. The link is there in the chat box. Those who have joined the class lately, please mark your attendance. So, how do we solve it? So, first of all, for those who have solved it, the correct option would be B. It would not be C. Students, solve the question by yourself. How can be it wrong for everyone? And you are all of you are giving the same wrong answer. How is it possible? Now, as I said, first we'll calculate the K. Okay, so K is given as concentration of the product raised to the power of the stoichiometric coefficient. So everyone listen very carefully. All of them have 1 as the stoichiometric coefficient. So power will be 1. Similarly, concentration of D raised to the power 1, concentration of A raised to the power 1, and B raised to the power 1. Now put the values. So 10 into 6 by 2 into 3. So that will give us 10 as the equilibrium constant. 10 as the equilibrium constant. Now the formula is delta G naught is equals to minus 2.303 RT log 10. The value of log 10 is 1. The value of log 10 is 1. So if I put the remaining values, which is 2.303, R value is T 2 and temp T value is 300. So 3 into 2, 600, and 600 into 2.303. So 6 3s are 18, 6 3s are 18, 1 carry, 6 to the 12, 1 13. Then we have point here with a negative sign. So minus 1381.8 is the correct answer. Minus 1381.8 is the correct answer. So here they have directly used the equation. Okay, rather than finding K equilibrium separately, we can also put it directly in the equation and solve it in one go. Okay. Yes. Anyone is having any doubt in this question? Can you move forward now? Can you move forward now? Again, this is a very simple one. It's a very simple one. Quickly answer the question. We can move on to the next question now. Yes. What will be the correct answer? Okay. Yeah. A will be the correct answer. There is nothing to think about it. You have to only just identify that what is the correct formula. It is, of course, delta H is equals to delta U plus delta Ng RT. Moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following reaction. What is the enthalpy change for decomposition of 1 mole of water. Now, students, in this question, they are already giving us a different equation, and its enthalpy change is also mentioned as minus 483.64 kilojoule. But you have to calculate the enthalpy change for a different kind of reaction, and that reaction is what? It is decomposition of 1 mole of water. Now, think, students, what shall we do here? What shall we do here? Try this question. It's a good one. It is related to thermochemistry. Okay, so Deepika is telling A is the correct answer. Is it for this question, Deepika, or the previous one? Yes, try this question. First of all, first of all, your approach should be like this, that we have to find the equation related to decomposition of 1 mole of water. This is an equation which is already given, but it is not the equation related to decomposition of 1 mole of water. You have to just write the equation which is related or corresponding to the decomposition of 1 mole of water. So Amrita is telling B is the correct answer. Sandoshini is telling A is the correct answer. Yes, anyone else who wants to reply? Quickly write it in the chat section. I am giving you some time to solve it. So now it's 10:51. I'll wait for 2 minutes. So this is a question of thermochemistry. Yes, Kritika, Sangvi, Saksham, Shani, what will get here as the correct answer? Raja? Yes, Sangvi, very good. So this is students the required equation. H2O will give H2 plus half O2. So 1 mole, so we have to take 1 against the H2O. Now, now we are already given with one equation, but that equation is not according to the required equation. So what is the required equation? It is H2O giving us H2 plus half O2. So this is our required equation. Now, our given equation is a different one. We have to transform this equation into our required equation. So this is our thing. We have to transform the given equation into our required equation. Then only we will be able to solve it. So how shall we do it? How shall we do it? So do it in simpler steps. First of all, your H2O should be in the reactant side, but here it is given in the product side. How can we do it? We'll just reverse the equation. What we'll do, we'll reverse the equation. So it will be becoming 2H2O giving us O2 plus H2 with a 2 here and gaseous for all of them. Now whenever you reverse the equation, the enthalpy change will also reverse its sign. So it will become, enthalpy change will become delta H is equals to plus 483.6. Yes, we'll do a negative of the previous one. Now, do we get the final equation? No, because here the stoichiometric coefficient is 1, because we have said that 1 mole of water is to be decomposed. 1 mole of water is to be decomposed, but here we have 2 as the stoichiometric coefficient. So what we'll do here, we will divide this whole equation by 2. So that will give us 2 by 2H2O giving us half O2 and 2 by 2H2. Again, the enthalpy change will also have the half value of the initial one. So plus 483.64 by 2. Finally, we will get our required equation. Everyone, students, having any doubts, this all will be present in gaseous, and delta H will become 241.82 kilojoule. So since we started with the kilojoule, the answer will also come out to be in kilojoule. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Did you get my point? How we will transform the given equation into a required equation? Anyone is having any doubt? Moving on to the next question. You are given that we have 1 mole of an ideal gas which is at 300 Kelvin and it is expanded isothermally from 1 liter to 10 liter. You have to calculate the delta U. Yes, it's a simple one. Why? You have to only see that what is the value of delta U and the reaction, sorry, the process, it is isothermal. So the answer lies in this word itself. The answer lies in this word itself. What is the formula that you can use here to quickly find the answer? Okay, Sangvi, let us see if it is correct or not. Yes, Saksham, Sandoshini, Raja, anyone else who knows the answer? What formula we can use here? Amrita, Deepika, Kritika, what formula we can use here? What formula we can use here to calculate the delta U very quickly without any problem, without any calculation? So Sandoshini is telling B is the correct answer. Okay, let us see Sandoshini if it is correct or not. Yes, Raja, why are you not replying? Oppo, correct your name. Oppo, correct your name. Join with your proper name, Oppo. Yes, Shani, what you will get as the answer? Okay, Shani is telling we'll use NRT ln V2 by V1. But Shani, that is the formula for the work done, right? That is the formula for the work done. We have to calculate the change in internal energy, delta U. Okay, Sangvi is telling Q plus W. No, you will not use this formula. Why to go into this formulas? We know that delta U is equals to NCVDT or delta T. We have seen this formula. We have seen this formula. Now again this delta T is what? It is change in temperature. No, temperature is not zero. Change in temperature is zero. Okay. So do not misunderstand this isothermal in this way. Isothermal means if it is initially 238, the final will be also 238. If it is initially 300, the final will be also 300. Means the temperature will be constant and it will not be zero. So if this is the case, then delta T will be zero because the temperature is constant, change will be zero, and 0 multiplied by anything will give us 0. So 0 will be the correct answer. Did you understand? Did you understand? So students, remember important point. Whenever you have delta U, delta H, delta G calculation, you can use any formula in any question. So you have multiple formulas for delta U like NCVDT or delta U is equals to delta H plus delta H is equals to delta U plus delta NGRT. So you can use any formula irrespective of the question. But if you want to calculate W and Q, you have to use specific formulas. If it is reversible, you will use the formula for reversible. If it is irreversible, you will use the formula for irreversible. But for these functions, you don't have to think twice. You can use any formula for any question. Why it is so? Because they are all state function. They are not dependent on the way your reaction goes or your process goes, but they are path function. So they will depend upon the path, whether you are calculating it for reversible or irreversible. So you have to use different formula. Now today's last question, students. Today's last question for today's class. Last question for today's class. So for this one, the correct answer would be 0. CV delta is the formula and CV delta T. Delta T is 0. So work done is also, sorry, internal energy is also 0. Here is your next question. You have to identify that what will be the value of delta Rg naught if you are given with the Kc value already. If you are given with the Kc value already, you don't have to calculate. You don't have to calculate. They are options are given in terms of multiplication values. You don't have to calculate the final answer. You will just put the values and match it, that which multiplication is matching your is matching your process. So how we'll do it? How we'll do it? Okay, so Sangvi is telling D is the correct answer. Let us see, Sangvi, if it is correct or not. So Kc is already mentioned in the question itself. You don't have to calculate Kc like the previous case. Okay, Shani is telling D is the correct answer. Let us see, Shani, if it is correct or not. Okay, moving on to the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer would be D. How we'll solve it? So this is the grand formula. Okay, the formula that you see, which is delta Rg naught is equals to minus Rt ln Q, K equilibrium. It comes from this formula. How? So at equilibrium, delta G becomes 0 and your Q becomes K equilibrium. Therefore, your final equation at equilibrium is given as delta G naught is equals to minus RT ln K equilibrium. You put the values, R value, T value, and K equilibrium value, and this is your final answer. Okay. So here I am giving you a last question as your homework. Yes, you can take the screenshot. If you have, I will give you one more question. Take the screenshot of this one. Take the screenshot of this one. Give me a thumbs up if you have taken the screenshot. Then I will show you the next one. Try that one by yourself. All of you have taken the screenshot. Okay. All of you have taken the screenshot. Those who are using laptop, they can use the thing Windows plus Shift. So first press Windows and Shift and press S. Or uh, you can also use the button PRT screen, which is F9. Okay, yeah, you can use Windows Shift S to take the screenshot, or you can use your phone to take the screenshot. So here is your last question. Take the screenshot of this as well. Okay, thank you for joining the session. I hope you enjoyed it.
Morning, students. Am I audible to you? Okay. So today we will solve some more questions on from chapter thermodynamics, heat transfer and thermal properties of matter. So let's see one question. For a given cycle, the work done during the isobaric processes, you are given with the curve and you are given with the option. So you have to tell the work done during the isobaric process. So firstly try it by yourself. What will be the answer? Tell me. What do you think? What is the answer? Everybody please respond. Deepika, Kritika, Prachi, Saksham, Sangvi. So answer will be D, 600 joules. So let's see the solution. So the work done during the isobaric process is isobaric process occurs at constant pressure, right? Just a second. Isobaric process occurs at constant pressure, right? So on a PV curves, you are given with the PV curve. So PV curve, it is a horizontal line. Process A to B is the, so you can see that A to B is a straight line and from A to B the pressure is constant, right? So process A to B is the isobaric process. So you have to identify from the curve which process is isobaric. So isobaric process occurs at constant pressure. So process A to B is isobaric process, right? Now at from process A to B the pressure will be constant pressure 3 into 10 to the power, you can see that it is 3 into 10 to the power 2 Newton per meter square, and volume corresponding to point A is V. So volume at A is, and volume at B is 3 meter cube. You can see that 3, and volume corresponding to A point is 1 meter cube. So now the work done formula is P delta V. P minus VA. Pressure is 3 into 10 to the power 2. VB is 3. VA is 1. So when you solve this, you will get 600 joule. Everybody clear? Please tell me. The solution is clear to you all? Any doubts in that? This is how you will solve the question. This is how you will find out the work done during isobaric process if you are given with the PV curve. Firstly, you have to identify the process and then write the corresponding values and then apply the work done formula. So let's see one another question. A container of volume 200 centimeter cube contains 0.2 mole of hydrogen gas and 0.3 mole of argon gas. You are given with 0.2 mole of hydrogen gas and 0.3 mole of argon gas. The pressure of the system at temperature 200 Kelvin will be, you are given with the gas constant value and volume is also given to you 200 centimeter cube, and you are given with the 4 options. So which formula we will use here? Any idea? Any guesses? Everybody please respond in class. Which option do you think is correct? Solve it. Solve it. Solve it. Okay. Wait. We will solve. So let's see the solution. That option D is correct. See. Firstly, write list what is given to you. 200 centimeter cube means 200 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter cube, right? Centimeter cube is not the standard unit, so firstly we have to convert it into meter cube. Then you will get 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter cube. N1 is 0.2 mole of hydrogen gas. N2 is 0.3 mole of argon gas. Okay, so temperature is given to you, which is 200 Kelvin, and R is given to you 8.3 joule per Kelvin per mole. Okay, firstly we have written what is given to you. Everybody clear? Now, according to Dalton law of partial pressure, the total number of moles is the sum of the individual components. Total number of moles is N1 plus N2, means 0.2 plus 0.3 is equals to 0.5 mole. This is from Dalton's law of partial pressure, which states that total number of moles is the sum of the individual components. Right? Clear, everybody? Please let me know if this is clear. Everybody please respond. Should I erase this? Have you noted? Deepika sang. Okay. Now from the ideal gas equation, PV is equals to nRT and P is equals to nRT by V. Total mole just we have calculated 0.5, R is 8.3, temperature is 200 and pressure is 2 into 10 to the power 4. So after solving you will get answer 4.15 into 10 to the power 6 Pascal. So the option D will be correct. Clear? Any doubts in that? So these type of questions you will find in your exam. And one thing also you have to remember is that always write units with that of quantities. So if you are writing here R value 8.3 joule per Kelvin per mole, because mostly students will do mistake in units. So you have to convert volume into meter cube first. Okay, because it is given to you in centimeter cube. So always convert units into standard units. Okay, students? Mostly students will do mistake in these calculations, because if you put only 200 in that, you will not get any answer. You will not get the correct answer, right? So always convert units into standard units before solving any question. Let's see another question. An ideal gas undergoes 4 different processes from the same initial state as shown in figure below. You can see a PV curve. Those processes are adiabatic, isothermal, isobaric and isochoric. So the curve which represents the adiabatic process among the following 1, 2, 3, 4 is what? So this is very simple question. Tell me which option is correct. Tell me students which option is correct. Which of the following curve represents the adiabatic process? C. The curve 1. So you can see that if we will discuss all the curves. So firstly discuss one curve. One curve is isochoric because one curve represents the volume constant, right? Volume constant means isochoric. And fourth curve is isobaric because at that point pressure is constant. You can see that in the fourth curve every point pressure is constant, right? Pressure is constant means isobaric. Now let's discuss curve 2 and curve 3. So both curves second and third represents gas expansion because as you can see the volume is increasing as we move along the curve second and 3. Options are 1, 2, 3, 4 only. Options are just 1, 2, 3, 4. Shiny. Options are just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we will discuss which option is correct. Everybody is responding. Very good. So 1 and 4 is clear. 1 is isochoric and fourth is isobaric. Now let's analyze curve second and curve 3. So you can see that in both of the curves second and third volume is increasing. Volume is increasing means both of the curves represents gas expansion but having different slopes. In both of the curves second and third curves are slopes are different, right? This is clear to you? So you have studied that in isothermal process, slope is represents by dp by dv means minus p by v is the slope in isothermal process. But in case of adiabatic process, slope is dp by dv is equals to minus gamma p by v. Have you read this? All students please respond. Have you read this? Isothermal process slope and adiabatic process slope? Okay. Okay, so you can see that gamma is always greater than 1 for an ideal gas. For an ideal gas, gamma is always greater than 1. So that means adiabatic curve is more steeper than isothermal curve, right? So curve, as you can see from the curve 2 is more steeper than curve 3. During expansion, it represents the adiabatic process. So that means curve 2 will represent the adiabatic process and curve 3 will represent the isothermal process. Clear everybody? Because gamma is always greater than 1. So that means adiabatic process is more steeper than isothermal curve. Okay. Okay. So that means your option B is correct. Whoever told B option, very good. So this is the solution we have discussed. Now let's see another question. The volume occupied by the molecules contained in 4.5 kg water at STP, if the intermolecular forces vanish away, is you are given with the 4 options. So one concept we'll use here. If the intermolecular forces vanish, that means the water will behave as a ideal gas. You can note down this point. If intermolecular forces vanish, water behaves as an ideal gas. So if the water behaves as an ideal gas, so you can use the ideal gas equation. Okay. So this is the concept we will use here in this solution. So let's see the solution. So the option correct is D, 5.6 meter cube. So now let's list out what is given to you. Mass of water is given to you 4.5 kg, means 4500 gram, and you know that the molar mass of water is 18 gram per mole, right? So calculate the number of moles. Number of moles is given mass upon molecular mass. Given mass is 4500, molecular mass is 18. So that means 250 moles. Now you have to find out the you are given with the volume occupied by the molecules at STP. So volume at STP. 1 mole of ideal gas at STP occupies 22.4 liter or 22.4 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. Is this clear to you all? Firstly respond me this. So the total volume will be 250 moles into STP. Students, please respond. Is this clear to you? Okay. So we have find out the total volume by multiplying it 250 with the 22.4 liters. You will get 5600 liter. All students, please respond. Deepika? Clear everybody? Should I erase this? Have you noted? Okay. So see, 1 meter cube is equals to 1000 liter. So 5600 upon 1000 will give you in meter cube. So that means your answer will be 5.6 meter cube. Your answer will be D correct. Okay students? Let's move with another question. An ideal gas follow a process described by the equation PV square is equals to C. From the initial P1 V1 T1 to final P2 V2 T2 thermodynamic states, where C is a constant, then you are given with the four options. Firstly, try it by yourself. Which option do you think is correct? Deepika, very good. All students, please try. It doesn't matter whether you tell right or wrong answer, but just try it by yourself first. Give it as a chance. Very good, Shiny. Okay, so let's solve. See, ideal gas equation is PV is equals to nRT, and you are given that PV square is equals to C. So from that, P is equals to nRT by V. Now put this pressure value into this equation. nRT by V into V square बराबर C, and TV is equals to C by NR. C by NR is what? C is constant, number of moles is constant, gas constant is a constant value, means you will get TV बराबर constant, or TV is equals to constant. That means if TV is equals to constant, that means T is inversely proportional to temperature is inversely proportional to volume. That means if V2 is greater than V1, T1 is greater than T2. Clear? Everybody clear? So if we analyze other options, so from option A, P1 is greater than P2, V1 is greater than V2. Option A is saying P1 is greater than P2, V1 is greater than V2. So you can see PV square is equals to C. That means C is a constant. That means P is inversely proportional to V square. So if P1 is greater than P2, then V2 is greater than V1. That means this contradicts this statement. So option A is incorrect. Now from option B, you can see that P by T square is equals to constant. Means P is directly proportional to T square. If P1 is greater than P2, T1 is also greater than T2. That means option B is also incorrect. So option D is correct. Everybody clear how you will approach this question? Everybody clear? Should I erase? Okay. So we have seen the solution. Now let's solve another question. Two rods, one made of copper and another made of steel, and of same length and same cross-sectional area are joined together. The thermal conductivity of copper and steel are 385 joule per second per Kelvin per meter and 50 joule per second per Kelvin per meter respectively. The free ends of copper and steel are held at 100 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius respectively. So the temperature at the junction is nearly. You are given with 4 options. Solve it by yourself first. This is an important question from heat transfer chapter. Solve it by yourself first. Let me know the answer. Try it. Shiny, Amrita. Solve it by yourself first. No matter whether you tell right answer or wrong answer, try it once. This is an important question. Okay, we will discuss. See, in steady state conditions, the rate of heat flow through both rods, which is combined in series, must be equal since no heat is to lost to the surroundings. That means heat flow due to copper is heat flow due to steel, and the formula for heat flow is Ka delta T upon. This formula will use in this question. Okay, Amrita? This is the formula for heat flow where K is the thermal conductivity, A is the cross-sectional area, L is the length of the rod, and delta T is the temperature difference across the rod. So in steady state conditions, the rate of heat flow through both the rods which are connected in series must be equal since no heat is to lost to the surroundings. That means heat flow due to copper is equals to heat flow due to steel. Okay. This is the formula you will use. So now let's see the solution. So the option A is correct. Deepika, very good. Option A is correct. Now let temperature at the junction be T. So 4 copper rod, heat flow due to copper is thermal conductivity of copper into A to 100 minus T upon L. For steel rod, similarly you can write for steel rod K of steel into A T minus 0 upon L. Right? Now since both the rods have the same length and same cross sectional area A, that means if you will equate H of copper, heat flow of copper, to the heat flow of steel, area and length will cancel out, because it is given to you that both the rods are made up of same length and having the same cross sectional area. So when you equate this, you will get thermal conductivity of copper into 100 minus T is equals to K of steel T minus 0. Up to this step, this is clear to you all? Respond everybody. Sangvi, Shiny, Amrita, Deepika. Okay. So now thermal conductivity of copper is given to you, which is 385 joule per second per Kelvin per meter. Right? And thermal conductivity of steel is also given to you. Put the value. Put the value in this equation. 385 100 minus T is equals to 50 into T. Now solve this. You will get temperature approximately 7700 minus T is equals to 10T. Should I erase this? Everybody have noted? Should I erase this? Okay. So you will get 7700 minus T is equals to 10 into T. 7700 minus 77 T is equals to 10 into T. 7700 is equals to 87 T. 7700 upon 87 is equals to T. So approximately you will get 88.5 degrees Celsius. Clear everybody? This question is important. You will definitely find these type of questions in your examination. Yesterday also we have solved one question based on this formula. Right? Right, Deepika? Are you there in yesterday class? We have solved one more question, right? Sangvi? Okay. So now let's see another question. Three vessels of equal capacity have gases at the same temperature and pressure. The first vessel contains helium. Helium is monoatomic gas, and the second contains fluorine. Fluorine is diatomic gas. So helium is monoatomic and fluorine is diatomic. And the third contains sulfur hexafluoride, which is polyatomic, means SF6. The correct statement among the following is, you are given with the four statements. Try it by yourself first. Which option do you think is correct? Which option do you think is correct? See, you can definitely eliminate second option. How? Because equal volume of all ideal gases at the constant or same temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. This is one law which states that equal volume of ideal gases at the same temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. This is what law? Avogadro's law, right? Equal volume of ideal gases at the same temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Since volume, temperature and pressure are identical for all the three vessels, that means they contain same number of molecules. So it be statement showing all vessels contain unequal number of molecules, which is wrong, which is contradictory statement according to Avogadro's law, right? So you can directly eliminate B option, right students? Kindly respond. Let me know whether you understand this or not. So you can definitely or directly eliminate B option. So let's analyze other statements. So mass of helium is 4 gram per mole and mass of fluorine is 38 gram per mole. Mass of sulfur hexafluoride is 146 gram per mole, right? So firstly you have calculated the molar mass of monoatomic gas, diatomic gas and polyatomic gas. Now lower molar mass, so according to root mean square formula is it is equals to 3 RT upon m. That means root mean square speed is inversely proportional to square root of molar mass, right? That means lower molar mass results in higher speed. Lower molar mass results in higher speed, right? So the mass is greater for polyatomic gas. So that means root mean square for helium is greater than fluorine and then for SF6. Clear students? Students clear? Everybody please respond. The solution is clear to you? That means your option D is largest. We have just seen the solution, right? Root mean square speed of helium, then root mean square of fluorine, then root mean square of SF6. This is the trend. Now let's see another solution. A cup of coffee cools from 90 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. Wait. नीट का मैंने नहीं किया अभी. नीट में थोड़ी करना है, वो तो समर कैंप में करना है. पता नहीं, मैं समर कैंप में बता दूंगी. कल बता दूंगी फिर. मुझे नहीं पता, अभी खुद देखना पड़ेगा मुझे. लिंक मुझे ऐसे लिखा थोड़ी हुआ है मेरे पास. मुझे फिर भी एक बार स्टेप पूछने पड़ेंगे सारे उनसे, वेदी सर से. अभी अगली क्लास में वेदी सर बता देंगे ना उनको. अभी तो मैं कैसे बताऊं, मुझे पहले बताते क्लास में, पढ़ के तो आती है एक बार. अभी कुछ किया ही नहीं, कल तो मैं बिजी थी, उसके बाद सुबह मैं रिकॉर्डिंग कर रही थी, उसके बाद मैं क्लास देख रही थी, मुझे लगा समर कैंप में बताना, नीट का मुझे पता ही नहीं था। A cup of coffee cools from 90 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius in T minutes. In T minutes, so when the room temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, the time taken by a similar cup of coffee to cool from 80 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius at a room temperature same at 20 degrees Celsius is, you are given with the four options. Firstly, try it by yourself. This is the question from Newton's law of cooling. Right? This is the question from Newton's law of cooling. This is also a very important question. You will find these type of questions in your exam. So let's see the solution. The correct option is C. So let's see the step-by-step solution. Yeah, C. Very good, Deepika. So according to Newton's law of cooling, the average rate of cooling of a body is directly proportional to the difference between the average of temperature and the surrounding room temperature. Very good, Gomati. So T1 minus T2 upon delta T is equals to K T1 plus T2 by 2 minus Ts. So T1 is the initial temperature, T2 is the final temperature, delta T is the time taken to cool. Right, students? Ts is the room temperature, which is 20 degrees Celsius, and K is the cooling constant. Everybody clear? The formula is clear to you? Okay. So this is a solution in very less steps. I am writing in a detailed manner. Okay. Now case 1. Let's see the case 1. So firstly, cooling occurs from 90 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius in T minutes. So right here 90 minus 80 upon T is equals to K 90 plus 80 by 2 minus 20. Right? I'm just putting the values into this formula. So you will get 10 by T is equals to K 85 minus 20, you will get 10 by T is equals to K into 65. Clear? Clear, students? Up to this step clear? Should I erase this? Everybody has noted? Should I erase this? Okay. Now, case 2. Case 2 is cooling occurs from 80 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. Now again put the values into that formula. 80 minus 60 upon T is equals to K 80 plus 60 by 2 minus 20. So you will get 20 by T is equals to 70 minus 20. 20 by, this is T dash. So it is, we have writing this as a T dash. T dash is equals to K into 50. Right? So we have got another equation. Right? Now divide first by second. So 10 by T is equals to 20 by T is equals to k into 65, k into 50, right? Just solve this. 10 by t into 20, sorry, here, oh shit. Everybody has noted? Everybody have noted? By mistake, I have deleted this. Everybody has noted? Please respond. Or should I write it again? Should I write it again or everybody has noted? Please respond. Okay, okay. So 10 by t, 20 by t dash, k into 65, k into 50. So 10 by t into t dash upon 20 is equals to 65 upon 50. So by solving this, you will get t dash is equals to 13 by 5 into t. Right? So the correct answer is your C, 13 by 5 into t. Okay, students? Okay, everybody? Should I move it further? So now this is the very simple question based on formula only. Match, you have to match the column 1 with the column 2 and choose the correct match from the given choices. So root mean square speed of the molecules is Q. Root mean square formula is 3RT upon M. That means your A matches with Q. Pressure exerted by ideal gas. So average kinetic energy of the molecule is 3 by 2 kBT. Means your C matches with S. So here C matches with P. That means A is incorrect. In all B, C, D, C matches with S, C matches with, so this is correct. But here A should match with Q. So option B is incorrect. That means you have eliminated two options, A and B. This is how fastly you will solve in exam. Okay. Option A and B is incorrect. So option A Q and option A matches with Q. Now total internal energy of the 1 mole of internal gas, diatomic gas, या फिर maybe pressure exerted by ideal gases. B matches with, B should match with, tell me, B should match with P. Pressure exerted by ideal gases 1 by 3 and M V bar square, right? So B should match with P. So rest D should match with R. So option D will be correct. Very good, Amrita. Very good, Gomati. Clear? Everybody clear? This is how fastly you will solve in your exam. Just eliminate the options. Now this is also a formula based question. The mean free path of the gas with molecular diameter and number density can be expressed in, this is a simple formula based question. Tell me the formula. Tell me the formula. Yes. Amrita, very good. So see, mean free path is the average distance d a gas molecule travels between successive collisions. So lambda is represented mean free path, which is equals to 1 by under root 2 pi and d square, where n is the number density and d is what? Molecular diameter. Clear, everybody? So your option A will be correct. This is simple formula based question. Okay. So maybe sometimes examiner will just simply ask the formula based question. So this is also important. Maybe he will ask any formula based question, or maybe you are given with some values, you have to calculate the mean free path for any gas. Okay. So this is also a simple formula based question. The average thermal energy for a monoatomic gas is, tell me. This is very simple question. Tell me, tell me. Yes, A option is correct. 3 by 2 kBT. Because the degree of freedom for the monoatomic gas is 3, so the average thermal energy per molecule is 3 by 2 kBT, where kB is the Boltzmann constant and T is the absolute temperature. Now let's see another question. The quantities of heat required to raise the temperature of two solid copper spheres of radii R1 and R2, where R1 is 1.5 times of R2 through 1 Kelvin, are in the ratio. So you have to tell the answer. You are given with 4 options. So quantity of heat required is given by, so you know that this formula Q is equals to ms delta T, where m is the mass of the sphere, s is the specific heat capacity, and delta T is the change in temperature. Right, students? Since both the sphere are made up of solid copper, so their density and specific heat capacity is identical. Since both the spheres are made up of copper, their, so this is the concept you will use here. Clear to you all? Clear everybody? The temperature range is given to you. Temperature range is delta T is equals to 1 Kelvin. This is also same for both. Right? Now you know that the formula is, density formula is what? Mass upon volume. So from that, mass is equals to density into volume. Density into volume is sphere, volume is 4 by 3 r cube, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So that means you can see that the mass is directly proportional to r cube. Right? Should I erase this? This is clear to you all? Clear? Saksham, are you there in class? Are you understanding this? Okay, so mass is directly proportional to r cube. That means from formula of quantity of heat, if mass is directly proportional to r cube and q is directly proportional to m, that means q is directly proportional to r cube. So q1 by q2 is equals to r1 cube upon r2 cube. This is also very important question. And r1 is given to you 1.5 r. Wait. Correct, everybody? Understood? Understood to you all? Please respond. Understood? Rita, Deepika, Shiny, understood? Sangvi, should I move now? Okay. So let's see another question. A cylinder contains hydrogen gas at pressure 249 kilopascal and temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Density you have to tell. So इनको बोलना है।
इनको बोला कि आप इस पे क्लिक करोगे, इनको ये लॉगिन मिलेगा, क्लिक करके लॉगिन पेज खुलेगा, उसमें गेट स्टार्टेड भरेंगे, क्लिक करेंगे, गेट स्टार्टेड के बाद पूरा पेज खुल जाएगा इनके लोग रजिस्टर करने के लिए। तो ये रजिस्टर करेंगे, उसके ऊपर अपना क्लास सब्जेक्ट सब कुछ भरेंगे उसके अंदर, तो इनको टेस्ट शो होंगे। अभी एक टेस्ट है उसमें, और आप इसके बाद जाके जनरेट कर देंगे, ठीक है।
So students, firstly listen, you have to give a one test. I'm writing the website name, website dot wait.
पेज ले लो।
Everybody please note down this. Everybody please note down this. So this is a site, you have to attempt one test today. What you have to do is go to this site, and then there is an icon showing get started. Then you have to make your profile there, and you have to attempt then one test today. Okay students, everybody please note down this. Amrita, Sangvi, Deepika, everybody please note down this. Okay, so you have to attempt one test today. What you have to do is go to this site and then get started, and then you have to make one profile. Okay, does everybody note it, or should I repeat again? Website dot evalsist.ai. Noted? Website dot evalsist evalsist.ai. Noted everybody? Go to this site today and then get started, and then make your profile there, fill your information, and then attempt one test today. Okay, should I repeat again, or everybody has noted? Please everybody respond. Everybody noted? Should I repeat again? Should I repeat again the name of website? Website, write down website dot evaluassist.ai. Website dot evaluassist.ai. So you have to go there and get started and then fill the information. Then your profile is complete. Then attempt one test today. Okay, you will find one test there. Okay, students. Okay, Amrita. Okay, Deepika, Shiny. Go to this website today and attempt one test. The website name is website.evaluassist.ai. Everybody has noted? Kindly please let me know. Noted everybody? Okay. So attempt one test today. We will meet tomorrow. We will solve more questions from this chapter. I hope you like the session and practice more and more questions. Okay? Thank you. And attempt one test today. All the very best.
Hello students. So we are starting the class. Okay, so before starting the class, there is one announcement. Okay, so this announcement is very important. So I'll share my screen and then I will give you some instructions. So is the screen visible to you? Please write in the comment section. Okay, Amrita. Okay, so first of all, I would like to give you this information. So here on this platform, you can actually you can view the question paper, the test paper, and then you can solve the test paper and you can upload it here. So this platform has been created. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to type this one, eval assist.ai. So you can write it down, you can take a screenshot or you can write it down. Okay, so please write it down, eval assist.ai. So this you have to type in the Google. Okay, I will send you. Okay, so here I have sent you in the chat box also. You have to just type this one in the Google, or you can just type this in the URL above. Okay, so what you have to do first, you have to create your login ID, or you can say you have to register yourself. So how you have to register yourself first of all? Okay, so here you can see login here. So first of all, you have to go to login. Click on login and then go to get started. Here you can see get started. So this is the procedure for actually registering here. So you have to enter all the details here. These are all the mandatory details. Your name, your email ID is important. Phone number is optional. Then you have to create a password here. So you'll be creating the password yourself. Then you'll be writing I'm a student. Then you have to enter the class, board. Obviously you can enter the board, and then the subject. Suppose the subject is biology. Then you have to enter your school name. So now here you have to be very careful. So you don't have to enter your school name. You have to enter the school name as SATHEE space IIT space Kanpur. So you have to enter this. Instead of your school name, you have to enter SATHEE space IIT space Kanpur. Okay, here UDISE code is optional. Then you have to enter your state, okay, city and the country. Okay, suppose you are from Haryana or Punjab or Pondicherry, whichever state, you have to enter the city and then you have to click on this agree, and then you have to click on get started. After that you will get an OTP. Okay, OTP you will get where? You will get the OTP on your email ID that you have entered here. Okay, you have to enter the OTP and you will get registered. This much is clear? This much is clear, students? If this is clear, please write yes in the comment section. So this is how you have to register yourself. You have to create your credentials. Okay, now then again what you have to do, you have to again go to login and then you have to enter your email ID here, whatever email ID you have entered and the password that you have created. So I'll show you here. We have created this email ID. Okay, so the email ID here we are using, you have to create your own email ID. This is our email ID that we are using here. So I'm just showing you the procedure. Okay, So you will enter the email ID, then you will enter the password here. Then you will click on the login. Okay, you will click on the login. Okay, so here there's a problem here. Okay, so after login in, you are logged in now. So what you have to do, you can see you will be seeing this dashboard here. So this is your dashboard here. Okay, now what all you can see here? You can see the following things here: student analysis, student ranking, weak topics, intervention. You have to go to assignments. So you have to go to assignments here. Okay, now here you can see all the assignments here. All the question paper will be, you can see here, and then you can analyze all the question paper. Okay, so this is how you can view the question papers. Clear? So this is how you have to do it. Clear? You have to make your ID here. You have to enter all the details here. Then you have to go to login. Okay, you will enter the email ID, you will enter the password, and then you have to click on the login. Then what you have to do? You have to go to assignments then. After login, okay, you have to go to assignments. And then on the assignments, you can view the question paper. Okay, you can view the question paper there. Okay, then what you have to do? You have to solve that question paper, and then you can upload the question paper here. Okay, this is clear. So there is one more email ID. I'll use this email ID. Okay, so here you can see this is the student dashboard. You will go downstairs. Okay, you will scroll down. Here you can see assignments. So you have to go to assignments. Remember, always you have to go to assignments only. You have to view it here. Here you can see these are the question paper. You can view question paper here. This is the question paper for the chapter human reproduction. Okay, then what you have to do? You can again submit the paper here. So you will solve this question paper. Okay, you will write it down. Make sure you write it down very clearly. Okay, then you can take a screenshot or convert it into PDF. Then you can submit it. You can upload the answer sheet here. So you can see submit your answer sheet. You can submit the answer sheet here, and then you have to click here upload and submit. Okay, so this is clear. This was the information that was very important. I hope you got this information. Okay, so now let's start with the session now. We'll do the PYQs now. Okay, clear. So we'll start with the PYQs of the chapter locomotion and movement. Very important chapter. Clear? So should we begin this session? Write in the comment section. Should we begin with this session? Okay. All right. So what is the first question here? Choose the correct statement regarding the muscle contraction. Okay. These PYQs are from the chapter locomotion and movement. Important chapter. You can get around 2 questions from this chapter. This question has come in the NEET 2026 exam. So they are saying you have to choose the correct statement. True statement regarding what? Regarding the muscle contraction. Okay, so these are the 5 statements given to you. You have to choose the correct answer from these options. So let's read this statement. Statement 1, a motor neuron. Motor neuron is, this is the neuron which is bringing the information from the brain. So motor neuron carries a signal sent by the central nervous system. So the motor neuron is bringing the signals from the central nervous system to the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. Is this true? The next one, the neural signal generates an action potential, okay, which causes the release of calcium ions into the sarcoplasm. Then increase in calcium ion inactivates the actin for breaking cross bridges. Okay, so in muscle contraction, calcium ion plays a very important role. Calcium ion binds to troponin. Okay, there is a structural change in troponin, and due to this, there is a change in the tropomyosin. Okay, and the myosin binding sites are exposed. Now the myosin can bind to actin. Next one, actin binds to myosin head to form a cross bridge, and shortening of sarcomere takes place by pulling actin filaments towards the center of the A band. A band is the anisotropic band. So we have isotropic and anisotropic band. Isotropic band, what were the isotropic band? They were made up of actin. Okay, so what will be the correct answer? Option number B. We have got one answer. Shani saying option number B. Means you are saying A and B only. So you have to choose the correct statement. So A and B only is the correct answer. Correct statements. D. So we have D here. Okay. Kamali. Option number D they are saying. Any other answer? You have got the attendance link also. You can mark your attendance as well. So we have got option number D and we have got option number B. So we have got two answers. Amrita is also saying option number D. Means A, B, D and E. These are the correct statement. Okay, so let's have a look at the answer. So answer is option number D. Option number D is the correct answer. So A, B, D and E, these are the correct statement. Okay, so yes, let's analyze this statement A. So you can see here a motor neuron brings the signal from central nervous system. This is true to the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. This statement is true. Okay, then next one, neural signal generates an action potential, and this action potential releases calcium ion into the sarcoplasm. This is also true. Sarcoplasm is like cytoplasm of the muscle cells. Okay, then statement D, actin binds to myosin head to form cross bridge. This is also true. So this is myosin actually. Myosin looks like this. This is the head of the myosin. Okay, this is the head. So actin will bind here. So this is what? This is myosin. Okay, so myosin will have actin binding site, and actin, this is an actin, this actin can bind here. Okay, so actin binds to myosin head. This is myosin head to form a cross bridge. This is also true. And then option, this statement D, shortening of the sarcomere takes place by pulling the actin filaments towards the center of the A band. So we have two proteins in the muscles, actin and the other one is myosin. This you already know. Actin, this form thin filaments. Myosin form thick filaments. Okay, so what happens here? This is the structure of the sarcomere. I'm just drawing a rough diagram here. This is the sarcomere. Here the heads are present actually. This is myosin. Okay, this is myosin. All right. So what is happening? This is actin. This one is actin. This one is myosin. Okay, we can use different color. Now what is happening here? These ones were actin. Now you can see there is a cross bridge here. Okay, These heads, they are forming the cross bridge with the actin, and this, you can see what is happening during the muscle contraction. This head, they are moving inwards here in this direction, here in this direction. So what is happening here? This was the head, okay, and actin is attached here. So this head actually pulls the actin here on this side. Okay, it is pulling, so the actin will move inside. Okay, so that's why we say it's sliding filament theory. Actin is sliding over myosin in this direction, here in this direction. Okay, this is the cross bridge that is formed here. These are the cross bridges. Okay, so this is clear. Option number C is incorrect. Increase in calcium ion inactivates the actin for breaking the cross bridges. So actually ATP is involved. Okay, ATP actually mask the actin binding site. So here an actin binding site is present here. Okay, actin binding site is present here. Well, the actin will bind. This actin binding site is actually masked by ATP. It is masked by ATP. Okay, when the ATP is broken down into ADP and inorganic phosphate, then the actin binding site is exposed and the actin can bind. Okay, so next question. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is related to the human skeleton. So what is the question here? Which of the following statements are correct? This also question has come in the NEET 2026. Which statement are correct with this reference to human endoskeleton? So we have these statements A, B, C, D, and E. Now human skull is monocondylic. Then the joint between any two adjoining vertebrae is a cartilaginous joint. Next one, in human being, number of cervical vertebrae is 7. Is this statement true? Statement D, all ribs except the two pairs are bicephalic. Okay, and statement E, the occipital bone of skull is articulated with the atlas vertebra. So what will be the correct answer here from these options A, B, C, and D? What is the correct answer? Option number B. Shani is in option number B. So option number B means B, C, and E. These are the correct statement you are saying. Is human skull monocondylic or dicondylic? Joint between two adjacent vertebrae are cartilaginous. Means they have some flexibility, limited flexibility. Not that much flexible, okay, but they show some flexibility. We have got D answer also. Okay. Human beings have several cervical vertebrae. Should we look at the answer? So we have got two answers, option number B and option number D. Let's have a look at the answer. Answer is option number B. So B, C, and E, they are the correct statement. So this statement is true, obviously. Okay, the vertebrae, okay, the adjoining vertebrae, they have cartilaginous joint between them. Then in human beings, cervical vertebrae are 7. This statement is also true. And the occipital bone of skull is articulated with the atlas vertebrae. This is also true. So the first cervical vertebrae, this is known as atlas, and the next one is known as axis. So the occipital bone is articulated with the atlas vertebrae. So this statement is also true. Okay, rest of the statements are false. So you can see, let's have a look at the explanation. Human skull is dicondylic, not monocondylic. Okay, the skull region articulates with the superior region of the vertebral column, means the atlas. Okay, with the help of two occipital condyles. So human skeleton is dicondylic. Option number B, statement B is correct. Statement C is also correct. Statement D is incorrect. All ribs of humans are bicephalic. That is, they have two articulation surfaces on their dorsal end. Dorsal means on the back side. So all ribs are bicephalic. Clear? And statement E is also correct. Now let's moving on to the next question. Next question is a column based question. So list 1 and list 2 is given to you. Okay, in list 1 the name of the disease is given to you. Okay, tetany, arthritis, myasthenia gravis, muscular dystrophy. And in the list 2 the description of these diseases is given. So you have to actually match list 1 with list 2 and you have to select the correct answer from these options. So what will be the correct answer? Option number C. We have got one answer, option number C. Option number A. Amrita is also saying option number A. What about rest of the students? Saksham, Kribavatini, everyone, Deepika. Option number A you are saying. So let's analyze this question. So tetany is due to what? It is wild contraction in muscle due to low calcium ion in the body fluids. So due to low calcium in the body fluid means in the blood, what happens? The nerves, they are always activated. Okay, they are always activated. So this leads to muscle, you can say spasm or wild contraction in the muscles. Because neurons are also activated, always activated nerves. Okay, so they will keep on sending nerve impulses to the muscles. So muscles will always be in contracted state. Arthritis, what happens? Inflammation of the joints. Then next one, myasthenia gravis. This is what? This is an autoimmune disorder. So C will be 2. And then you have muscular dystrophy. In muscular dystrophy, there is a lack of the protein dystrophin. So muscular dystrophy will be progressive, you can say degeneration of the skeletal muscle. So what will be the answer now? So let's have a look at the answer. Answer will be option number A is the correct answer. Okay, so your answer was correct. Most of the students, the answer was correct. Okay, now you can see next question here. Again, this is a column based question, list 1 and list 2. Here you can see in list 1, they have given you the joints, name of the joint or type of the joint they have given you. In the list 2, they have given you these name of the, you can say, vertebrae. Okay, where these joints are actually present. Okay, so where fibrous joints are present. Okay, where the cartilaginous joints are present, where the hinge joint is present, and where the ball and socket joint is present. Okay, so you have to again match list 1 with list 2 and you have to choose the correct answer from these options given below. So what will be the answer? So students are saying option number, what is the answer? Option number D. Option number D. So Shani is also saying option number D. So option number D you are saying means this is the correct answer according to you. Fibrous joints, they don't allow movement. So fibrous joint will be present where? Where it will be present. So what will be the answer? Fibrous joints are present in the skull. They don't allow the movement. Okay, so we have got option number B also. Skull, you are saying, Amrita, very good. Skull is the right answer. Okay, cartilaginous joints, so they allow limited movement. Okay, so they are present in the adjacent vertebrae. So cartilaginous joints, answer will be 1, limited movement. Then hinge joint, where is hinge joint present? Knee, and they help in the locomotion. Ball and socket joint, answer will be humerus and the pectoral girdle, and they help in the rotational movement. Okay, so we have got the answer now. Let's check the answer as well. So answer is option number D is the correct answer. Okay, clear? So our answer was absolutely correct. Option number D is the correct answer. Now moving on to the next question. So this is an image based question. You can see the image here. So you have to observe this image, you have to analyze this image, and then you have to name the muscle and the location of the muscle. So these are the options: smooth muscles, toes; skeletal muscles, legs; and C is cardiac muscle and heart. Similarly, option number B, A is skeletal muscles and present in triceps; B is smooth muscles or present in stomach; C is cardiac muscle and present in heart. So likewise, 4 options are given to you. You have to select the correct answer. So what will be the answer? Observe the image. This is the image for what? Skeletal muscles or cardiac muscle or smooth muscles. Observe the striations here. Striations are present. Observe the nucleus and also look at the branching pattern, whether the muscles are branched or not, and whether the striations are present. So what will be the answer? A, B and C. There are 3 kind of muscles here. This is a simple question. This A, this is skeletal muscle. Okay, simply option number B, we have got the answer, option number B. So A is skeletal muscles, okay, B is smooth muscles, C is cardiac muscles. Simple. Okay, so we'll do it one by one. We have got one answer, option number C also. So obviously one thing you know, A is skeletal, B is smooth, C is cardiac. Cardiac muscle, they are branched. So here you can see branching, it is branched. Skeletal muscles show striation, cardiac muscle also show striation. Cardiac muscles are uninucleate, skeletal muscles are multinucleate. What is the location now? Obviously cardiac muscle will be present in the heart. Okay, cardiac muscles are always present in the heart. So option number C, we have got answer. Option number B, let's have a look at the answer. Answer is option number B is the correct answer. So C, A is skeletal muscle. Okay. And the next one, B is smooth muscle, C is the cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscles are present in the triceps. Okay. Smooth muscles present in the stomach as well. Cardiac muscle is present in the heart. So this is the most appropriate answer actually. This is the most appropriate answer. So you can see figure A represent the skeletal muscle fibers which are closely attached to the skeletal bones. So skeletal muscles, they are obviously attached to the skeletal bone. They help in the movement. So these skeletal muscles, they are present in triceps. They are present in biceps also. They are striated. Okay. And you can see here, these striated muscle fibers are bundled together in a parallel fashion. Then figure B represents smooth muscle fibers which are present in the wall of the internal organs such as the blood vessels, stomach and the intestine as well. And figure C represents cardiac muscle fibers which are exclusively present in the heart. Okay, so smooth muscles are present in stomach also. It is present in intestine also. So that's why you were getting confused. Okay, the skeletal muscle, they are also present in the biceps as well. But cardiac present only in the heart. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. What is the next question here? So again, this is a question related to the mechanism of the muscle contraction. Similar kind of question we have done here, but they have changed the options here, the statements here. So you have to choose the correct statement, means the true statement. So statement A, it is initiated, means muscle contraction is initiated by signals sent by central nervous system via sensory neuron. Okay, just focus on this. It is saying sensory neuron. Clear? So we will highlight this one. Next one, next question, next statement. Neurotransmitter generates action potential in the sarcolemma. Okay, means the plasma membrane of the muscle fiber. Next, increased calcium ion level leads to binding of calcium with the troponin on actin filaments. Then masking the active site of actin. Masking of active site of actin is activated during the muscle contraction. Okay, so actin, if we talk about the actin, on the actin you have myosin binding site. This myosin binding site is actually blocked by tropomyosin. Okay, so when the muscle contraction is initiated, tropomyosin will be, you can say, removed from its place. So unmasking of the myosin binding site will be there. Unmasking. If the myosin binding site is masked by tropomyosin, then myosin will not bind. Okay, next one, utilizing the energy from ATP hydrolysis to form cross bridges. Cross bridges formed between the myosin head and the actin. So in this process, is ATP hydrolyzed into ADP and inorganic phosphate? Is this statement true? So we have the answer, option number A, you are saying. Option number A you are saying. So you are saying B, C and E, these are the correct statement. Any other answer? Okay, so let's have a look at the answer. Answer is option number A. Your answer was absolutely correct. This is the correct answer. So let's have the analysis of this question. Statement A, this is incorrect. Because the signal is sent by CNS via motor neuron. Here it is written sensory neuron. Correct will be motor neuron. Motor neuron actually brings the signals from the central nervous system. Okay. Next one, next statement is correct. Acetylcholine release at the neuromuscular junction binds the sarcolemma and triggers an action potential. So this statement is true. Next statement is also correct. Action potential opens the T tubules. Okay. Then calcium ion is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum and calcium ion binds to troponin on the actin. Okay, there is a structural change in troponin. This causes structural change in tropomyosin, and the myosin binding site, it is unmasked. Next one, statement D is also incorrect. Okay, calcium, it binds to troponin. Okay, and this binding shifts the tropomyosin and unmask the active site. Okay, so masking is deactivated, not activated. It was written activated. It is actually deactivated. This statement is also incorrect. Okay, and then the statement is utilizing the energy from ATP hydrolysis to form cross bridges. This statement is correct. So ATP actually, this we have discussed, it actually masked the myosin binding site on the actin. Okay. This will bind the actin binding site. Okay. So let's write it again. The ATP actually masks the ATP binding site on the myosin. And ATP is hydrolyzed into ADP and inorganic phosphate. And now the actin can bind to myosin. Okay, clear? Now moving on to the next question. Again, this is a question. Column based question, list 1 and list 2 is given to you. In list 1, again they have given you the joints, okay, knee joint, okay, and the joint between atlas and the axis, what it is called, joint between carpals, what it is called, joint between humerus and pectoral girdle, what is the type of the joint. In the list 2 they have given you type of the joint, list A they have given the location of the joint. So you have to choose the correct answer from the options given below. You have to match list 1 with list 2. Again a simple question. Option number A, Amrita is saying. The joint between humerus and the pectoral girdle. So we have pelvic girdle and pectoral girdle. What is this joint? Ball and socket joint. Knee joint is what? Hinge joint. Joint between atlas and axis, pivotal joint. And joint between carpals, gliding joint. So what will be the answer? Option number A you are saying. Option number A. Any other student wants to answer? So let's have a look at the answer. This one was easy question. So answer is option number A. So your answer was absolutely correct. So here you can see. Let's analyze this one. Okay. So here you can see joint between humerus and pectoral girdle. This will be ball and socket joint. Okay. Knee joint. This is the kind of hinge joint. Joint between atlas and the axis. This is known as the pivot joint. Okay, and then joint between carpals, this is known as the gliding joint. So you have carpals in your wrist, then metacarpals, then phalanges. Okay, so this you have to remember. Now next one, let's move on to the next question. Again the question is on joint. So you can see here from this chapter, a lot of questions are coming from muscle contraction and joints. So just focus on these two, or you can say just focus more on these two topics, muscle contraction and the joints. Okay, both of these topics are very important. Then human skeleton obviously is also very important. How many bones in the vertebral column, how many bones in the forelimbs and all, but majorly focus on muscle contraction and the type of joints. Clear? Now again they have given you type of joint and the where they are found, where is the location actually. So what will be the answer here? Cartilaginous joint, where it is present? Between adjacent vertebrae in the vertebral column. Okay. Now next one, ball and socket joint, between humerus and the pectoral girdle. Fibrous joint, which doesn't allow any movement, between flat skull bones. Saddle joint, between carpal and the metacarpal of the thumb. Okay, this is clear. So what should be the answer? Option number A. Option number A. Amrita is saying option number A. Shani is also saying option number A. Kamal, option number A. So let's have a look at the answer. So answer is option number A is the correct answer. So now you know about the type of joints. Okay, so you can see if you do all the PYQs, then also you can score well. So doing these PYQs or discussing these PYQs is very important. Okay. Next one, again in NEET 2023, this question has come. So this question is regarding the skeletal muscles. Okay, these are voluntary muscles. They show striations. Clear? Now, which of the following statements are correct regarding skeletal muscles? Option number A, muscle bundles are held together by collagenous connective tissue called the fascicle. Then, so muscle, this is the muscle. Muscle, they have a muscle bundles in them. They have many muscle bundles. Now, sarcoplasmic reticulum of the muscle fibers. So it is the endoplasmic reticulum of muscle. Muscle fibers are nothing but muscle cells. So sarcoplasmic reticulum muscle fibers is the storehouse of calcium ions. Then next one, striated appearance of skeletal muscle is due to distribution pattern of actin and myosin proteins. The next one, M line is considered as a functional unit of contraction called the sarcomere. So M line. Okay, what is the M line? So you have this myosin and then you have this actin. Okay, this is the structure of the sarcomere. Then you can see here you have one line. This is known as the Z line. Okay, here you have the M line. This is passing through the myosin. This is the M line. These are the Z line. So what should be the answer? Option number D you are saying. Option number D means you are seeing A, B and C. These are the correct statement. So should we look at the answer? So let's have a look at the answer. Okay. So here you can see option number A is the correct answer. Option number A is the correct answer. Now you can see which of the following statement are correct actually. So here you can see muscle bundles are held together by collagenous connective tissue called fascicle. This statement is false. This is not surrounded by fascicle. Okay, this is surrounded by what? Fascia. It is known as fascia, not fascicle. Okay, then sarcoplasmic reticulum muscle fiber. This statement is true. It is the storehouse of the calcium ions. Then striated appearance is due to distribution of actin and myosin. This is also true. M line is considered as functional unit of contact. This statement is false. Okay, this statement is false. So Z line is actually considered as the functional unit of contraction. So sarcomere is between two Z lines. Sarcomere is between two Z lines. This is the sarcomere actually. Clear? That's why answer is option number A. B and C are only true. Okay. Now next one, next question. Again, this question is on the what? Bones. Palm bones, wrist bones, ankle bones, digit bones. So in list 1 they have given you the bones. In list 2 they have given you the name of the bones. Palm bones are known as, wrist bones are known as, ankle bones are known as, digit bones are known as what? So this question is quite simple. So what will be the correct answer from these options? A, B, C and D. So option number D, Amrita is saying palm bones are known as metacarpals, wrist bones, carpals, ankle bones, tarsals, digit bones, phalanges. Option number C. We have got one more answer. Option number C. Any other answer? Option number D. So we have got option number D and option number C. Amrita is also saying option number D. Okay, so let's have a look at the answer. Answer is option number D is the correct answer here. Okay, so palm bones, they are known as metacarpals. Wrist bone, they are known as carpals. So we have carpals, metacarpals and then phalanges. Okay, ankle bones, they are known as tarsals. So there we have tarsals, metatarsals and phalanges. And then digit bones, they are known as phalanges. So option number D will be the correct answer. So palm bones, they are known as metacarpals, wrist bones are known as carpals, ankle bones are known as tarsals, digit bones are known as phalanges. Okay, this much is clear. Moving on to the next question. Now this is assertion and reason type of question. This has come in NEET 2022. So this question is also important here. Now, assertion means the claim, reason, the explanation of that claim. What is the assertion? Osteoporosis is characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chance of fractures. Is assertion true? Is our claim true? Next one, common cause of osteoporosis is increased level of estrogen. Increased, they are saying, increased level of estrogen. So what will be the answer? So you have to select the correct answer from these options A, B, C and D. Option number C, you are saying assertion is correct, reason is not correct. Kamali is also saying option number C. Shani is also saying option number C. What about rest of the students? What happens in osteoporosis? There is the decrease in bone mass. So there is a decrease in the bone mass or bone density, you can say, and that's why the person is prone to fractures. Okay, and the calcium deposition, okay, the bones are made up of calcium phosphate. So these bones actually, which hormone promotes the calcium deposition? There are many hormones. Okay, one of them is estrogen also. So estrogen, if there is a decrease in estrogen content, it can lead to osteoporosis. Okay, so common cause of osteoporosis is decrease in the level of estrogen. So actually osteoporosis is common in older females, because in older females the level of estrogen is decreasing. The estrogen level is decreasing. So that's why the chances of osteoporosis are more. Okay, now next one. Actually, there are many hormones which are involved in calcium deposition. You must have studied calcitonin and all and everything. Estrogen is also involved here. Major cause here in osteoporosis is estrogen. Okay. So answer option number C is the correct answer. A is correct. R is not correct. Next question. Which of the following is the correct match for disease and its symptoms? So they have given you the name of the disease and the symptoms they have given you. Okay. So you have to choose the correct match. What is the correct match here? So what will be the correct answer here? This question is also arthritis, inflammation in the joints. Is it correct? Tetany, high calcium level causing rapid spasm. Is it correct? Is it high calcium level or low calcium level? Myasthenia gravis. It is an autoimmune disorder. Okay? It is a genetic disorder resulting in weakening and paralysis of the skeletal muscles. Genetic disorder, it is saying. Okay? And then muscular dystrophy, an autoimmune disease causing progressive degeneration of the skeletal muscle. So what will be the correct? Muscular dystrophy, is it an autoimmune disorder? Option number A, tetany, low calcium level. Very good. Tetany is caused by low calcium level. Ribavatni. All right, very good. So what will be the answer? Answer is option number D is not correct. Option number D is not correct. Yes, it is not correct, because muscular dystrophy, this is not an autoimmune disorder. In muscular dystrophy, there is a lack of the protein known as dystrophin. That's why it is known as muscular dystrophy also. There is a lack in the protein known as dystrophin. Okay, so option number D is incorrect. What about option number C? Yes, dystrophy is genetic disorder. Gravis is an autoimmune disorder. Very good. So it is actually reverse. It is actually reverse. C is also incorrect. Yes, because low calcium ions cause rapid spasm. So what should be the answer? Option number A should be the correct answer. So let's have a look at the answer. So correct match is option number A. Okay, arthritis, inflammation of the joints. Option number C, myasthenia gravis. This is autoimmune disorder. Okay, muscular dystrophy. This is a genetic disorder. Okay, and then this one, tetany is due to low calcium ion in the blood. Next question here is, you have to choose the correct statement about muscular tissue. Okay, muscular tissue, skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and the cardiac muscles. Okay, so let's read this option. Option number A, smooth muscles are multinucleate and involuntary, means it is not under our control. Okay, skeletal muscles fiber are uninucleated and found in parallel bundles. Then intercalated disc allow the cardiac muscle cells to contract as a unit. Okay, and the walls of the blood vessels are made up of columnar epithelium. What will be the correct answer? You have to choose the correct statement. Okay, what is the correct statement here? Option number C. Option number C, you are saying. Any other answer? Okay, so we will consider option number C. Any other student wants to give the answer? Okay, so let's have a look at the answer. Answer is okay. Answer is option number C. Intercalated disc allow the cardiac muscle cells to contract as a unit. Okay, option number C is the correct answer. All right. Next one, according to sliding filament theory, what is the correct answer here? According to sliding filament theory, what is the correct answer here? Okay, actin filaments slide away from A band, resulting in shortening of the sarcomere. Okay, next one, actin and myosin filaments slide over each other to increase the length of the sarcomere. Okay, increase the length, they are saying. Then length of A band does not change and I band increases in length. So we have I band, isotropic band, and A band, anisotropic band. I band and A band. I band is made up of actin. An isotropic band consists of actin as well as myosin as well. So what will be the correct answer? Option number C, you are saying. Length of A band does not change according to sliding filament theory. So length of the A band always remains same. Okay, so let's have a look at the answer. Answer is option number C. Your answer was absolutely correct. The length of the A band will not change. Okay, length of the I band will change. Clear? All right, so this was the end of this session. Okay, I hope the session was quite knowledgeable for you. We have discussed a lot of concepts today. Okay, we have discussed which topic you have to study from this chapter. Okay, important chapter. You can see a lot of questions are coming from this chapter as well. And I hope you have got the instructions that we have given you in the starting. Okay, you have to make your account and then you have to log in and then you can see the assignments there. Okay, you have to view the question paper and then you can solve the question paper. Okay, and then you can upload it there. Okay, clear? You can click the photograph, you can maybe convert it to PDF and then you can upload it. Okay, clear? So thank you very much, students. Keep interacting. Thank you very much, Amrita. We'll meet you in the next session. Thank you very much.